So, I've seen multiple videos going around about how the video game market is crashing. Me being the contrarian that I am, I'm going to say that I think all of those takes are a bit overstated. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't a major market shift currently at play in the industry, but I think we're looking at more of a market correction rather than a complete crash. Now, I will not turn this into an economics lesson because that would be terribly boring, and I doubt how any of you want to hear about how I destroyed the curve in my college econ class.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So I'll just cover the basics. So what is a market correction? A market correction is when there is more than 10 but less than 20% decrease in a market value from its peak. This can take place over the course of a couple days to a few months. However, we aren't going to use it in that way today because I'm not trying to figure out the math behind all of this. Instead, let's just say that we're going to begin to see closures of quite a few AAA studios, but we're still going to receive a number of big titles in the $100 million plus range. So why is this happening? First, it's because the game industry has overestimated the demand for live service games. Giants like GTA 5, Destiny, Fortnite, Counter-Strike, and WoW painted the impression to big publishers that there is a major clamor for expanding worlds full of microtransactions and digital currencies. In some ways, they were right. There are quite a few successful games that followed this model. I mean, GTA 5 has grossed over $8.5 billion after all. The issue is gamers can only play so many of these games. Maybe 1, 2, at most 3, and then the rest usually get ignored. Also, when you create these sorts of games, you're also pulling gamers away from standalone experiences. Why would you want to purchase an entirely new game when you've already invested hundreds, if not thousands of hours into a live service game and have dumped hundreds of dollars into expansions, gear, and skins? This is even before we begin to consider how many games that are supposed to be standalone experiences that contain season passes or battle passes. Anytime a gamer purchases any of these items and stays in those ecosystems, it's an opportunity lost for the competition. Now, there are a few problems with this model. First, there are only so many gamers that will truly support these types of games. I play Destiny 2 from time to time. Outside of my purchase of the initial base game before it went free to play, I haven't spent a single cent on the game. I know there are many other players like me, some who may not even have purchased the game prior to New Light, who also have not spent a dime since their purchase. Sure, some of these people will buy a skin here or there, purchase an expansion, but these models depend on whales. People who are willing to spend thousands of dollars purchasing everything possible to either improve their character or for customization. Now, there are only so many whales in the ocean, so game publishers are not only trying to capture the attention of mythical creatures, but they're trying to garner the attention of multiple ones. The other issue with this model is most gamers are not payers. Around 5 to 20% of gamers actually purchase microtransactions, with less than 2% accounting for 90% of all revenue coming from microtransactions. So if you're not paying, at a certain point you become a cost to the system, especially in a free-to-play environment. Second is limited attention. The amount of gamers is finite, and so is their attention. Sure, you can try to convert people over to gaming, which the mobile gaming industry has made a ton of headway with middle-aged women, but it's very unlikely that you're going to convince non-gamers to purchase a console or build a gaming PC to play your game. So you're mostly going to be stuck with the current limited audience. With the release of every live service game, the amount of gamers who want a new live service game shrinks. Then these games are expensive to maintain and create, so with a shrunken player base, your options are either to get more aggressive with monetization, create a smaller, emptier experience, with the promise of a roadmap of new features, and pray that gamers show up, or just collapse under your own weight. So what's actually going on in the games industry? Well, we had an overinvestment in these live service games, and they're no longer selling. Well, I guess I should include microtransactions that are also no longer selling. The whales have already found their games of choice between the giants, so a new game is likely to fall, and fall quickly. This is why Concord, and now XDefiant, have both left as quickly as they came. And this isn't a recent phenomenon either. Just think back to Lawbreakers, Radical Heights, and Anthem. Gamers have responded to the current environment and have told major publishers that the remaining pool of gamers don't want these games. So now publishers are being forced to either close studios, lay off staff, and reorient towards the games that people will actually buy. Will they get it right, or will things continue to sort of freefall into an actual crash? I can't say with 100% certainty, but I'm pretty confident that these studios will eventually get it right. I mean, their jobs literally depend on it. So, as gamers, what should we expect from studios over the next few years? First, I think we're going to see more studio closures, and not just studios making live service games. These games and their failures have eaten up a lot of oxygen in the room, so investors are a bit more afraid to take that risk. So it will be less likely for a studio to get backing without having a proven track record, especially among those making live service games. I also think we're going to see a move towards single-player experiences. I don't think season passes are going anywhere, neither are cheap skins and other microtransactions. That's just how major studios can make big dollars rather quickly, with minimal risk or investment. Though I can't see many publishers taking the risk on another live service game after so many failures and facing these losses. I wouldn't be surprised if some live service games currently in development try to reorient to either a different type of experience or just get outright cancelled. I'm expecting games to be much tighter in scope and made on a tighter budget, but only time will tell. Hopefully this retraction in the market will make some major studios and publishers reevaluate the games that they're making, learn that the audience for a large amount of these projects has been overstated, and make a return to the games that core gamers actually want to play. But maybe that's just wishful thinking. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you for your time, and thanks for watching.